What's up, you guys? It's Terrell. Welcome back to another YouTube video. So I'm really excited for the video today because this is something that I personally love to do, and I love to figure out new hacks for home buyers, but basically it is real estate hacks for home buyers. And this is something that I've done personally with experience, and so this is not just me forecasting and saying, oh, you should do this because this person did this. No, this is stuff that I've personally done. So let's jump right into it. So personally, I think that there's two ways to start out in real estate. There is a slower, more gradual way to start building wealth and building equity in your house. And there is a fast way where if you want to really build wealth and scale rapidly, there's a couple ways that you can do it, but it really starts out with your first purchase. So both of these purchases, I would recommend using the FHA loan. The FHA loan has a ton of benefits, but the main benefit is you have the ability to buy a house with 3.5% down, okay? That is basically as low as you can get down besides having a VA loan, which is 0% down for our military vets, but they deserve that. But for us regular citizens, the best option that we have is 3.5% down FHA. So I would say if you're a brand new home buyer, this is a great program to take advantage of because you can get into a house for a very minimal amount down. Now, personally, this is what I did. We got into our first house with a FHA loan at 3.5% down, but it was a single family residence, okay? But the cool part about FHA is you have the ability to buy a 1-unit house, a 2-unit house, a 3-unit house, or a 4-unit house. So I would say the slower, more gradual way to build wealth would be get into a house with a 3.5% down payment, pay down that debt over time, and you can do the same thing again after you've been in the house for 12 months. Now, that strategy definitely does work. It's what we did personally. We bought a single family residence and we rented it out after 12 months and we moved into our second house by using the same exact strategy. It's basically the building blocks of buying real estate and advancing. In my opinion, the best way to scale and to grow rapidly, if you're really aggressive and entrepreneurial, is to go after a multifamily property at the start, your very first purchase, to go after a duplex or a triplex or a quadplex, because you can qualify for that with a FHA loan, meaning you can still buy that house, buy that duplex, triplex, quadplex. You can still buy it with an FHA loan at 3.5% down. So think about this. If I bought a single family residence and lived in it, and if I wanted to buy a fourplex separately from my single family residence, I would have to put 20 to 25% down on that fourplex to be able to buy it. Okay, so basically the hack to this is you are buying multifamily property with owner-occupied financing, okay? Non-owner occupied financing means you're putting 20 to 25, sometimes even 30% down. That's a big chunk of change down for a rental property, okay? The way around this is to live in the property for 12 months, and even if something is awkward, even if you have to bite the bullet for 12 months, you can still put yourself in a really good position after that 12-month period to be able to grow your net worth and grow it substantially. Because the cool thing about the FHA loan is once you live in the property for 12 months, you can actually refinance that current loan, and you can take that same FHA loan and do it again on another fourplex. So in a 2-year period, if you're brand new into this, you could literally have 8 rental properties, 2 fourplexes, in 24 months, okay? That's pretty crazy, in my opinion. This is a great house hack strategy to build wealth and build it rapidly because you're basically buying multifamily property on owner-occupied financing. The only downside to all of this is you have to live in the property for 12 months. And then once you do, you can refi, live in another property again for 12 months, refi, do the same exact thing. You could do this the rest of your life, okay? But at a certain point, we want to get a little comfortable and settle down, and maybe you have a wife or kids and you want to get into a single family residence, you know, not have tenants that you have to worry about every single month. It's going to slowly build wealth. It's just not going to rapidly build wealth like buying multifamily with FHA 3.5% down. Okay, so this is a strategy for people who need to sell their current house in order to purchase a new house in the future. And this is where you can get a huge ROI on a small investment into your house and how to sell it for more money. And out of all of the tips to sell your house quicker and for more money, this tip is the biggest tip that I can give you, okay? And it is painting your front door, okay? if you paint your front door a cool, trendy color just before you're about to put it on the market, this can literally add $5,000 of value just by painting your front door for $100, okay? If you have a cool gray property with white trim and you paint your front door yellow or a light blue or something like that, it has a higher percentage of selling because it's gonna stick out to these buyers as they're looking through Zillow, looking through Realtor.com and Trulia and Redfin. They're going to remember that, and the eyeballs that you're going to get when these people look at your property, remember, oh, it's the one with the yellow front door, okay? This is how you get more money for your property. And this is a great tip because I've literally used this on my own flips and my clients' houses that I've sold, and this always nets them a little bit more money if they paint their front door a certain color. Or even if it's like an ugly color, like a brown or something like that, even if you just paint it white or paint it black, it is a great return on your investment because literally it can increase the value of your house by $5,000 just by spending $100 on the front door. Now, this is another great tip that not too many people talk about, but obviously when you get a loan, the lender charges you closing costs for giving you that loan, right? If you're asking for a $400,000 loan, they're not gonna just give you the $400,000 loan. They're gonna charge you money in order to give you that loan because they have to offset their cost basis, right? Think about it. If you were lending somebody $400,000, would you just give them $400,000 and say, oh, pay me 5-6% interest? No, at the start, you would probably want some type of down payment or some type of fee associated with you giving them that money. Same exact thing with a lender. So they're gonna charge you closing costs, which is typically 2 to 2.5% of the purchase price of your house, okay? The cool thing that not too many people know about is you can actually ask for the seller to pay those closing costs out of the seller's net proceeds. Now, obviously, this is a cost that the seller is going to have to pay, and this is a negotiating tactic. So make sure you got a great agent on your side who knows how to negotiate and knows how to get a good deal for you. But also if the seller is saying no to this, you can actually increase your purchase price to offset the closing costs. So for example, if you're buying a house for $400,000 and your closing costs are $12,000 and you're asking the seller to pay for this out of their net proceeds, the seller isn't going to net $400,000 if you ask for $12,000 in closing costs. It's $12,000 off of $400,000, so it's going to be $388,000. Now, some sellers are going to say, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I pay your closing costs? Well, what you can actually do is you can increase that purchase price from $400,000 to $412,000, and that offsets the closing costs back to their original asking price. And for you, the only risk associated with that is you have a little bit higher of a loan, so you're paying a little bit more interest. Honestly, what I would rather do is I would rather not pay the $12,000 and pay an extra $5 or $7 a month in interest, because the reality is you're probably not going to stay in the house forever, so it's actually not going to make that big of a difference at the end of the day. So that's what I would do if I was a brand new home buyers. I would ask the seller to pay for my closing costs. So getting the seller to pay your closing costs is a great hack, and that's totally something that I would take advantage of if I was a first-time home buyer. So hopefully you guys got some value out of this video today. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm coming out with a lot of good content and can't wait to share it with you guys. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm a little bit more active on there and you can see what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. But other than that, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next week's video.